Welcome to Chalk Talk. I'm Chris Love.
And I am Jane Mackey, on location here in Austin, Texas. And we have just seen an amazing final finish in the team race national championships. We were moments ago here with Charleston jumping into the water, ecstatic with joy after winning the national championships. And we're about to take you through a little bit of an update on how things went.
Well, starting off with the Group 1 and Group 2 racing on the first day. Pretty much went as we had expected. We had top four teams in each group that did go on and qualify. Also, as expected, Wisconsin and Miami giving a run for the money but not making it happen. So then we move on to silver round. Wisco goes 5-0, proves that they deserve that 9th place spot. And Miami picks up the 2nd place.
But both of these teams, Wisconsin and Miami, will be seeing back here, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, but at Coed Nationals starting tomorrow. And the Kuchenreuters promising a win for Wisconsin.
My brother told me to say this, that he is guaranteeing a win later this week for the Coed National Championship.
Overall,
it's not my call. He's a senior. He's guaranteeing a win. He's guaranteeing victory for the Wisconsin sailing team.
And then in gold round robins 1 and 2, we saw the cream rise to the top, so to speak. Stanford, a little bit disappointing, I think. I think they were a little bit disappointed with their finish. They sink to the bottom and finish 8th.
All sophomores there, though, so we know that they're pretty good. They have done well in other team races, so they will be back in force for 2 more years.
Georgetown, who was my pick, also struggled a bit, especially the second day. I think they really just didn't come out strong, and unfortunately did not make Final Four.
It was an interesting regatta, Chris, because we had amazing breeze on the first day, just absolutely beautiful conditions. People were sailing with heavy crews. We thought if it had continued like that, we may have got the whole entire regatta completed yesterday, but as the next days progressed, lighter yesterday and then lighter still today. We only had to get 6 races off, and it was pretty hard to actually get them off. Looking nice out there now, of course. But they did manage to get some really light races off, drifting conditions at points, a couple races called back, but definitely exciting for the team that pulls through and can show that they can perform in all of these conditions. I always say this, but I love the feeling, and I think other teams do too, when you look back over a regatta and you can say, well, I won, and I won across every condition, and it's a great feeling to have done that.
They've got the 1st place, they've got the 2nd place, and the Charleston Cougars are national champions. And here they go, off to the races.
Yeah, our whole dock started shaking as they jumped up and down and ran into the water.
Well, coaches, congratulations.
Thanks,
you guys must be ecstatic right now.
Yeah, we're pretty excited, man. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first time the College of Charleston has ever won the team racing. Worked really hard all year. You know, it was some light conditions. We sailed really clean. Only had 1 yellow flag or 1 Rule 42 violation yesterday for a little pumping incident at the start. Other than that, they sailed super clean and they were fast enough to get it done. So it was really fun.
And Charleston sure did that. They only win by 1 win, but that's, you know, kind of how we expect the Final Four to go. A good showing from Hobart, St. Mary's, some tight situations there. Of course, a controversial protest between Roger Williams and Hobart on the 2nd day, and then finally Boston College finishing out 4th overall.
So looking ahead to tomorrow, Chris, I don't know what the conditions are going to be like, but if it's anything like this, it might be light, but it seems to come through, and we have 3 days of Coed sailing to go, and this is the lineup in order. It's Georgetown, Roger Williams, Stanford, College of Charleston. You'll note that all of these teams were out here for the team racing. ODU wasn't here. Hobart, Brown, Dartmouth, and BU. From the Western semifinals, we have Miami, Yale, Harvard, SUNY, Boston College, Wisconsin, Navy, Tufts, and USF. These guys will be arriving right now for those that haven't been sailing already, and the people from team racing and women's that have stuck around, perhaps a bit of an advantage going into this regatta.
Yeah, I think so. Getting a little time on the water definitely going to help, and ending the day early today here I think will also help for those that did sail the Final Four. The format is the same as women's, except that semifinals is already complete, so they get 3 full days of racing. A pretty grueling regatta, especially in the Texas heat for those who aren't used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. This heat is it's quite excruciating, and in the light air I can imagine that teams need to stay hydrated, they need to do everything they can to stay out of the sun, and just given the setup here they have to kind of walk down this long dock here and go back and sit up either in air-conditioned cars or under the tent back there.
On that note, Jane, I think that the favorites have to be some of the teams we just saw who are out here sailing well in this stuff. The Final Four, Boston College, St. Mary's won't be here, but Hobart, and of course the national champions for team racing, Charleston. I'd say Georgetown will probably have a good showing. They had a good showing at women's and did all right at team racing.
Yep, and let's not forget Yale. Qualified in second place for this regatta, for the co-ed, did not make it through to team racing, but definitely a deep team there.
And I think if I had to pick, I would put my money on Hobart, William Smith. I really like the way they sailed. They had a shot at the championship here, and I think they're going to do very well in co-eds and probably take the win.
I'm interested to see Miami. They also qualified first in the semi-finals to get here. Didn't have such a stellar performance in team racing, but very interested to see with that great performance at semi-finals how they can do here. I think my money, even though I have already won the prediction contest, so I'm not going to pick Yale because I seem to be a bit of bad luck when I do that. And if I have to predict, I think I'd be looking at Charleston or maybe even Roger Williams.
No, just one.
I always try to do this. Okay, I'm going to go with, Charleston. I think coming out of that win, they were sailing really, really well, and they've got to be confident out of that.
And Jane, of course, you can follow along and see if your prediction comes true at 2012nationals.collegesailing.org. Click on the live media link. No live video for this one, but the University of Texas will be doing live text updates, showing some photos and hopefully some video clips as well. Plus, Gary Jobson will be here with ESPNU and his film crew. That show will air later this summer on ESPNU.
Yep, I'll be watching from my desk in New York. Hopefully, actually, we'll be working really hard.
Well, Jane, it was so great to have you down in Austin. Thanks for coming. It's been a lot of fun.
Here. Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for watching. Don't forget, the deadline is closing now for the U.S. Sailing College Membership Contest. Sperry Topsiders going to the top team. And it looks like, looking at the results here, Tufts is the winner of this year's Sperry Topsider Challenge. Congratulations, that entire team. That's got to be like 80 people winning Sperry Topsider shoes.
Very cool.
And thanks to everyone for your support of U.S. Sailing. Thank you to U.S. Sailing for making Chalk Talk possible. We will be back, though, at the end of co-eds with one final episode of Chalk Talk Nationals.
See you then.